A couple of days ago, Donald Trump rolled out a new attack against Ron DeSantis. And ever since I read it, myself and I think a lot of people are trying to figure out what is going on in Trump's head right now. Because largely, we'll bring it up right now. We've shown it on the show. I like much of this attack because it's focused on Ron DeSantis's advocacy for cuts to Medicare and Social Security. I want the Republican primary to be based on substance. But amongst all of that, Trump also says that he, Ron DeSantis, is a wheelchair over the cliff kind of guy, which is a weird thing to say. And as soon as that came up, a lot of people thought that they had landed on what this is a reference to. And I think there is some reason to believe this. So here is what people think Trump is referencing in that attack. So you know that clip from Mac and Me made famous, I think, by Conan O'Brien playing that for Paul Rudd over and over and over again over the years. And okay, so that's not like a political thing. So why would Trump be referencing that? Well, it's on TV and that dude loves watching TV. There's no way he's not familiar with that. Jordan, what do you think?
Yeah, that's a great guess. But ultimately, Republicans are trying to cut things like Social Security. We see there's a quiet bipartisan effort to let additional food stamp benefits expire. Maybe with this, he is trying to draw or illustrate how senior citizens benefit from programs like Social Security, and many of them rely on a wheelchair. Perhaps that's giving him a huge benefit of the doubt. I think the TV thing is right, but it shows he even understands this is the third rail of politics. You don't want to touch this, and that Republicans are willing to do it just shows their callousness. And what's really infuriating is some of the media has helped them in their efforts to distort and distract and obfuscate what they're ultimately trying to do by saying sunset, by trying to increase the age requirement or age limit. Those are ultimately just cuts because you've been paying into them. If you get them 5 years later, that is tacitly a cut. So that he even recognizes that shows just how, I guess, out of the ordinary he is in that party, but really at large, how bad the Republican Party is for America.
Yeah, 100%. And it doesn't necessarily, like him running on this doesn't mean that he, if he were to become president again, wouldn't be okay with those sorts of cuts. I mean, remember in 2016 when he was running, he was like, we're gonna have single payer healthcare. And I kind of feel like he didn't push for that as president. But I do like those sorts of attacks. They not only hurt Ron DeSantis, but they hurt the Republicans that are right now trying to do this. So that's good. Anyway, I was pretty sure it was the Mac and Me thing. And I like that because it's stupid and it makes sense for Trump to reference it. But on yesterday's show, JR raised another possibility. And I kind of feel like JR is right. Here is what JR thinks he was referencing. That is a real political ad that ran 10 years ago attacking Paul Ryan. That's who that guy is supposed to be. The Progressive Agenda Project Action Fund. I honestly I knew what was gonna be in the ad and I was still shocked by what was in the ad. That's a crazy ad to run, but I kind of like it. So that makes sense for that to be what Trump is referencing because he was trying to compare Ron DeSantis to Paul Ryan. But Trump remembering an ad from 10 years ago that I had forgotten, it makes sense. It's about Medicare cuts and all that. And I wonder now, are we gonna see Ron DeSantis in big white boots pushing another granny off the cliff or something? Where is this campaign gonna go, Jordan?
I like that ad. I don't remember it, but I like it, and
I like it.
It brings to mind how Romney and Ryan's campaign was tanked by Mitt Romney's open callousness. Well, I guess it wasn't open because it was behind closed doors. But Mitt Romney's callousness, talking about how nearly half the country feels like they're entitled to things like food and shelter, which those are human rights. Those should be human rights here. And Paul Ryan had no problem with that type of a comment, and neither does most of the Republican Party. Rick Scott is one of the architects of cutting these programs. He just recently, because of the heat he was facing after the State of the Union, took his plans to cut Social Security out of his big proposal. I can't remember his plan for the Republican Party. He had some name for it, but they're feeling the heat, and that's a result of public pressure because these programs are really popular. People need them, people rely on them, and people have been paying into them for years. The Republicans want to cut them or privatize them to help further enrich their Wall Street and their corporate donors, because those are the people and those are the special interests who want to see those as opportunities for more profit. People pushing back on this is working, and you can see that in everyone trying to cover their tails. So the more people talk about this, the more people call their members of Congress, and the more people push back, the more successful we will be in stopping these attempts to cut these programs.
Yeah, it is maddening that they can, like, we refer to it as like a third rail or whatever, and it so should be. Like, these are things that people literally pay into their entire lives. And they've been around since before they were alive. And yet every couple of years, politicians are like, you know what? Let's screw all of them over. And the fact that the Republicans could get into office, with some of them openly promising that they're gonna do this, and now they're talking about it, and none of the millions of conservatives that rely on these programs seem to have a problem with that. I mean, like, I would toss that up against like the fact that apparently no conservative viewers of Fox care that all of the hosts were mocking them behind their back as dumb rubes and they didn't believe any of this. Like, how self-deluded can you be? How blind to what the political movement you're supporting is actually trying to accomplish? It's maddening. We're trying to get through to those people. My references right there probably are not gonna help the matter. But anyway, yeah. Look, I will just say on the wheelchair ad, it's the whole thing, the attack is weird. But again, like, I would much rather have the next 6 months of Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis attacking each other on how extreme their policies are than just, both of them pointing their cannons outward at the trans community or whatever. So honestly, Trump, here. I know you love applause. Let's keep it in this lane. How about that? For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.